How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty. I appreciate you stopping by today. And we have probably one of my favorite videos I've ever gotten to do today because just the premise behind it to me is so awesome. So we're back on the CN side today. We're taking a look at our boy the Scythe class, or our girl in this case. How you doing? How you doing? And a few weeks ago, someone had shot me a message and everything, letting me know that they were going to try and take a crack at, some of the translations and everything like that. I thought that was super awesome. And the way that they described and kind of came to me and approached me and everything, it was like they enjoy doing this kind of thing. When you create homework for yourself for a game that you're doing that is going to help other people, like, that takes certain personality traits, and that is exactly the kind of person that should be making content. So Yuji, if you're watching, buddy, and I hope I pronounced that name right, you should be doing what I'm doing here soon, because you have the drive and the compassion that will make you an amazing content creator. And anyone else that thinks about doing anything remotely similar to this, I suggest you do the same. I just put out a video yesterday I've had a few people that I know in real life and a few people that I've interacted through the channel and everything that have, talked about having interest in doing a channel. So I did a video yesterday kind of explaining how you want to try and plan out and do some certain stuff with your channel. And we might revisit that and put out some other stuff and everything. Just because if nothing else, if I drive some other people to do this too, that's just putting more good into the world. I believe in you, babies. You can do everything I'm doing right now and probably better, because your boy doesn't have as much time as he would like to be able to dedicate to this stuff to really fine tune it and craft it up. So you guys are amazing. I absolutely love you. Petty doesn't care where you're standing in the world when the sun rises in the morning. I love you, baby. I appreciate your face, and I'm glad you're here today. So there's gonna be a link to this down in the description below, and I'm also going to have it in my comment on the post for Reddit for this video, so that people can find it. And I really hope Yuji, I hope you post this on Reddit. I hope people see it and just shower you with love, because this is amazing. Just to give you guys a quick look at what we're going to be going over, this man made all of this himself. This is absolutely amazing. This is amazing. This blows me completely away. This is... Oh, but I'm just going to knock stuff over on my desk. See, I'm destroying my life. This is how great this is. Call the things. No. This is amazing. This is one of the coolest things that's happened with me with this channel and everything. So Yuji, thank you so much, bud, for all of your hard work on this. We're going to go through it. And I hope everybody that watches this video leaves a comment to show this man some love, because this is just amazing. I literally have no other words than this is amazing and one of the coolest things that I've ever been involved with. So big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get into this before I go on rambling too long. All right, so we're going to start off with some clarifications. Because I've noticed the translators are sometimes pretty inaccurate. They say weird stuff, so you're 100% right on that. I've created more direct translation of the scythe-wielding class. The exact translation is Dream Tape here, but I've been told it'll be renamed to Dream Eater when it gets released in the global version. When the global version translations come out, they'll probably use different names for each skill. That's something that we've touched on before when we were doing the BlueStacks translations and everything. Like, this is just a rough guess. But BlueStacks was a way rougher guess than what this person has gone through and done. So again, I love you. This is so great. But I've still provided direct translations for the skill names just so that it's easier to reference for now. Hope this helps anyone trying to play the Scythe class on the Chinese or Taiwan servers. This is gonna help me a whole bunch. So I'm one of those people that really benefits from having something physical that I can look at, rereading something a couple of times, especially after I've gone and played with it a little bit and then come back and restudied something like this. I'm the type of learner where that really reinforces everything that I was starting to formulate after reading this, going and testing some of it. So I absolutely love having stuff like this. This is amazing. Translation notes: under each translated name, I put the simplified Chinese used in mainland Chinese servers and traditional Chinese used in Taiwan server versions of the Taiwan servers. Version of their names down just for reference as well as their opinion pronunciation. When I refer to Tomcat in Raven form, I'm talking about the times where there is either a Tomcat or a Raven beside you. If another skill is mentioned in a skill description, it is italicized so that you can recognize and distinguish it better. That's a classy touch, boo. I like that. That's a classy touch. Any info regarding the mental cost energy of any skill is typed in gold letters just because I felt like it. You do you, boo. You made this. You get to do whatever you want with it. I only tested all the talents to verify my translations were accurate, but if it seems there is any misinformation regarding my talent / normal skill descriptions, please let me know. I got you. I got you. I'm definitely not going to be the one that catches it, but you know. Things that you should know: all Scythe skills can only damage up to 5 surrounding enemies max. So gunslingers and assassins can blow up huge groups from afar while hitting all of them. Scythe is not going to hit every single one of those enemies, just those 5. That's something that I've noticed while playing it on the CN side. And they mention it in their skills, but it really doesn't. A lot of some of the other classes skills will essentially say that they hit that target and then other targets within 5 meters, and that's all it says. And seeing a skill that says, oh, it damages up to 5 surrounding things, you might think that's really similar, but in big groups you will notice that, you know, you are not lighting up as many things as you might think you would. Mental energy refers to the blue petal icon that fills up / loses blue liquid when you fight. It's not snacks. That's probably my favorite BlueStacks translation weird thing that it's done so far, where it's just like, we got snacks. I don't think you got snacks, bro. You can store up to 200 points of mental energy if you don't equip any talents that change the limit. Okay. That's it's all good introduction stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the actual skills themselves. So, Raven contract skills: conclusion of Raven Spirit. Establish a contract with your Raven Spirit, allowing you to use its skill. Switches from Tomcat to Spirit form. So this is essentially just that if you're in Tomcat mode, this is what you switch to start, you know, pop over to your next form and everything. A bunch of classes have similar things, so that should be pretty easy for people to pick up on. Multiple skills under this status can restore mental energy, can be used even if you are under control status. Huh. That's interesting. 5-second CD shares the same CD with conclusion of Cat Spirit. So, okay, it just shares the cooldown with the move that switches you into the other form. That's fine. That's fine. You can't just pop back and forth. Alright, so next skill we got is Chain of Nightmare. Release the curse of the Raven Spirit, forming a nightmare chain with the target. Every time you hit the target while using this skill, you restore 5 points of mental energy. Ooh. Inflicts continuous magic damage on up to 5 enemies max for up to 5 seconds. Solid little AoE. If the distance between you and the target exceeds 15 meters, the nightmare chain will break. If you are still within 15 meters of the target after 5 seconds, the target will be inflicted with fear. Oh my god. It's a good thing I play PvP as an assassin, so I'm used to having to run away all the time. 'Cause boy, I don't like fear. Targets under fear debuff will uncontrollably run away from you. You can also check if the target is affected by fear, if a black ghost face hovers above the target. But like any other debuff, the monster players can be immune to this. So okay, everyone but Blade Masters are going to be just running for their lives from these guys, because that is super powerful. And there's very visual tells to when they're using either their Tomcat or their Raven form. Obviously, you know, with their Raven form, all their attacks are going to glow purple. If you see a Scythe class person turning up and they're purple and they've got that chain on you, boo boo, it's time to run. Save them dashes, save that endurance, and you get out of there. Alright, if you continuously inflict fear on an enemy within a short period of time, it will significantly reduce the time the enemy will be controlled by fear. So this is just, well, what's the term for it? Diminishing returns. So same thing in a lot of, MMOs and everything. Like, wow, if you continuously, fear or polymorph one target after your first cast, it starts reducing, the amount of time controlled each time until it's basically imaginary. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. So that it's not going to feel balanced to the person that's getting feared continuously. But that's at least an attempt to keep that mechanic from being completely over the top. And it's on a 7-second cooldown as a whole, so that's pretty good skill. Next one's going to be Raven's Shadow. Consumes 50 points of mental energy. Instantly move up to 12 meters behind or any direction you are moving towards, while increasing physical defense at the same time. Can be used even if you are under control status. 3-second cooldown. What? Oh. Alright. So, that's gonna be so hard to fight against in PvP. It's just gonna be Blade Master stuns, Fighter stuns, and then Scythe invulnerability. It's okay. Petty's not crying on the inside. It's completely fine. Everything is okay. Oh Lord, help us. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'm scared. What was the cooldown on that skill again? 3 seconds. Hopefully they're still controlled after the teleport. They're just further away and still controlled. Because if that gets them out of any CC thing, that is more broken than any of the CC immunity any other class has. Oh, and that teleport there's a Tomcat version too, and I'm assuming that by the time we get to that, it's going to tell us it does basically the same thing. So I'm going to end this video in tears. Alright, so we got Phantom Raven up here next. Consumes 40 points of mental energy. Raven Spirit recovers your HP back to the amount it was 2 seconds before you cast this skill. Will not cut HP if your HP was lower than before. Oh, okay. That's nice. This is essentially your... Things have gone very, very badly in the very, very recent past. Like, as soon as you get out of being stunned and bombed, you would hit this, potentially get all of your health back if you got jumped and taken down to like 20% out of nowhere. I know it's happened to me a few times. So this is an incredibly powerful move for PvP. That is gross. It also makes you invisible for 2 seconds. At the same time, your Raven Spirit will transform into a clone and walk forwards. After 4 seconds pass, the clone is defeated. It will self-destruct, inflicting magic damage to most 5 enemies while also inflicting fear on them for 4 seconds. So anybody that doesn't realize that you just disappeared and that they're attacking your clone version is about to have a bad time. This class is just made to make people cry in PvP. Oh Lord. Also stated in the Chain of Nightmares skill description, targets under fear debuff will uncontrollably run away from you, but if you continuously inflict fear on an enemy within a short period of time, it will significantly reduce the time of the enemy will be controlled by fear. So that's just bringing up the diminishing returns again. It's a good thing to keep in mind. It's on a 20-second cooldown. That still feels relatively short for what that's doing. So next one's going to be Transposition. Consumes 10 points of mental energy. Swap positions with your Phantom Raven clone. You can only swap positions once while the Phantom Raven clone is present. If it's, already blown up, you obviously can't use that. So if people aren't faked out by your clone and they all still kind of dive towards the location that you are bailing out in right now, and your invisibility is about to end at 2 seconds, it can be beneficial to use this, get the position of where your clone is, where everybody ran away from, because it blows up. And now you know, might have a better chance at escaping that situation and regaining a favorable position in battle. Because, you know, use amphibian tactics, boo. If it's not in your favor, get the fuck out of there. Bye-bye. Lots of reading. All right, so next one's going to be Breath of Annihilation. Recovers a total of 120 points of mental energy. Integrates the Raven Spirit into the power of the Scythe, shooting forward an annihilating ray, inflicting tons of magic damage to at most 5 enemies. See, I don't know why it stops at 5 enemies again when that's literally just a Kamehameha blast. You would think anything in that line, I don't care if it's, you know, 7 things or 100 things, everything in that line should be catching that blast. So I don't understand really why that limit's coming into play with an AoE cone skill. But alright, and then the cooldown on it's 90 seconds, so not too bad. Raven Curse, it's the big attack it's the big normal attack button. Okay, so it's just the normal attacks. I got you. I like that abbreviation. All normal attacks in Raven form only deal magic damage up to 5 enemies and recover 5 mental energy. Huh. Didn't know that's you were getting that much from each hit. Each time you inflict damage with your normal attack, you have 20% chance of inflicting one of 3 types of Raven curses. For 5 seconds on the single enemy specifically targeted. So not everything that's getting hit, just the thing that you have targeted. That's a good thing to keep in mind. One of the curses, enemy inflicts 3% less damage, takes 1% more damage, and then crit rate is reduced by 5%. If that works in PvP, because sometimes they don't let certain parts of skills work in PvP, I would imagine that would impact more in PvP than you should see an impact from it in PvE. But that's still nice. So let's get into the Tomcat goodies. Conclusion of Tomcat Spirit. Establish a contract with your Tomcat Spirit, allowing you to use its skills. Switches from Raven Spirit form to Cat Spirit form. Magic damage increased by 30%. I think that was the same with the other one. So they both boost your magic tech by the same amount. When you release any Tomcat skill, you will gain 1 stack of Tomcat Spirit Essence. Once your Tomcat Spirit Essence stacks 13 times, it will upgrade Devastating Shock to Doomsday Shock. I like that. Switching to Raven form will immediately lose all stacks of Tomcat Spirit Essence. Every second you are out of combat, you will also lose 1 stack of Tomcat Essence. Alright. Pretty standard stuff. Went a little too high. There we go. Nice and clean. So next, for our first skill on the Scythe side, we've got Absolute Scythe Slice. Y'all trying to come up with these almost tongue twisters. I see you, Raja. I see you. Recite a curse summoning 4 Tomcat Scythes, destroying anything in front of you. Consumes 100 points of mental energy. That seems like a lot. Each magic scythe inflicts a massive amount of damage to surrounding enemies, inflicts knockback on all affected targets, and it's on a 90-second cooldown. Phantom Tomcat consumes 75 points of mental energy. Man, Tomcat form really goes through that energy, dog. Your Tomcat spirit will transform into a clone and stay at the spot you are standing. Your Tomcat spirit clone continuously inflicts Tomcat's Claw and Devastating Shock on the enemies for 6 seconds. From what I've tested, my clone does Devastating Shock over Tomcat's Claw, Devastating Shock, Tomcat's Claw. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not over then. It's just the rotation with it. Okay, I got you. I thought it was just saying that it prioritized one move at first. Alright, so damage dealt by your Tomcat Spirit clone for Tomcat's Claw and Devastating Shock is 30% of the original skill damage. I.e. your character skill damage for Devastating Shock is 10k magic damage, then you would cast Phantom Tomcat and your Tomcat will be hitting for 3k. Okay. Dope example there. I like that you spell that out for people and everything. Level of the skills of your clone uses is dependent on the level of Phantom Tomcat. Oh, that's cool. In the 6-second duration that your clone is present, every time your clone is hit by the enemy, it will restore 4 points of mental energy and can restore Mental energy up to 10 times, so it can restore up to 40 points of mental energy total. Alright. Alright. That's on a 20-second cooldown. Transposition. Oh, I don't see any. Okay. Has the exact same description as transposition skill in the Raven form. Refer to Raven skill contract table above. Except this time you swap spots with your Tomcat clone, and your clone doesn't move after you swap spots. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. If you're trying to trick people with that, you don't want to be super active moving all around and then you pop out your clone's just gonna sit there and meh. So definitely, you know, keep that in mind of how it behaves when you're trying to work it into your tactics and everything in your play style. So I'm assuming, since it says it's the exact same description, that it has the ability to be used in CC, which is just woof, big woofs. Tomcat's Kiss, consume 50 points of mental energy, has the exact same description as Raven's Shadow. Which one was that again? Petty has a bad memory. 50 points of mental energy, instantly move up to 12 meters. Wait, that's the... Did I get confused and reread the same thing again? Maybe. Oh yeah, I think that form does have 2 forms of teleport. That's weird. Oh, no. This is just the taking the place for your clone and everything skill, not the skill for the teleport and using the thing itself. Okay, Petty figured out how he confused himself. We're good. My bad. Next one's going to be Devastating Shock. Consumes 40 points of mental energy. Uses a magic rope to blast, bombard the target's area and inflict massive damage. 2-second cooldown. Another thing that it doesn't immediately mention here is that when you use this, you start creating this bars that you see around Doomsday Shock. And that might be part of the Tomcat's energy that goes before. That was mentioned above. But yeah, once you use this skill a bunch of times, you were then able to use the super version of it and turn up and do a bunch of damage. It's nice, big, giant scythe that falls from the sky. It looks cool. So that's on a 2-second cooldown. You're able to use that a whole lot when you have the energy allowing, obviously. Doomsday Shock does not consume mental energy, but consumes all stacks of Tomcat Spirit Essence. Yeah, there we go. Bombards the target area with the Wrath of Hell, inflicting a huge amount of magic damage. Inflicts delay stun on all hit enemies for 2 seconds. Okay. Tomcat's Claw, it's the normal attack for this one. Oh, it's the big normal attack button. Yeah. Consumes 15 points of mental energy. Deals magic damage to a max of 5 enemies. When using normal attacks in Tomcat's Spirit form, you receive Tomcat's Claw buff for 5 seconds. In the 5-second period after you unleash the normal attack, any skills in Tomcat form that you use will consume 20% less mental energy. Nice. You can check to see if the buff is present on the upper left-hand side of the screen with a blue icon with a scythe showing up. Nice. So now we're going to get into the talents, and I don't think all of the talents are finished. I think he's only got up to B done right now. So check back later, and I'm sure he'll have those done, but this is absolutely amazing. So for the C talents, we've got Mental Energy Reconciliation. CDR stat increases recovery speed for mental energy. Not sure by how much exactly, but when I tested the skill, it recovered mental energy a few seconds faster. Okay. This increases recovery time, or it makes it so that your CDR increases recovery time, which is potentially really good, since CDR is super important to these guys later game, and I'm sure once you have a whole bunch of that basically might, you know, turn into pretty free use of energy. Tomcat power is the next one in the C rank talents. The extra magic damage inflicted by skills in Tomcat form is raised to 45% instead of the original 30% boost, which equals 15% more damage total. However, I tested this on the polar bear in the Siberia Harbor and monsters in the training center, but I consistently did around 9 to 10% more damage in Tomcat form when equipped. When equipping this talent instead of 15%. I'm not sure why, but please test it out yourselves too to verify. Yeah, we're going to be doing a video in the next couple of days that touches on some stuff with the fighters' talents not being 100% accurate in their description. So I'm not sure if this is something similar, if it's a bug, or how that math works out to where you're really only seeing the 9 to 10%, but not super surprised to see that, to be honest with you. Each time you use a skill, there's a 50% chance of adding 2 stacks of Tomcat essence. Oh, nice. Chain of destruction. When using devastating shock, it will make the next devastating shock you use inflict 20% more damage. This effect can be stacked up to 3 times and lasts for 5 seconds. You can see if it's working by checking your buffs list on the upper left hand of the screen. Devastating shock and doomsday shock will never miss. Okay. That's pretty nice. And then our B talents are going to be Catwalk. When releasing Tomcat's Kiss skill, Tomcat's Claw, normal attack will not consume mental energy. Damage is also increased by 30% for 5 seconds after casting Tomcat's Kiss. Releasing Tomcat's Kiss will also grant you 2 seconds of super armor. Ooh, okay. Linking Nightmare. When casting Nightmare Chain, for every second that the chain is connected to your target, you recover 5 points of mental energy. If the target your chain is connected to is under a curse, see Raven's Curse in the contract skill table. If you don't get what I mean, I'm sorry. You wrote this amazingly. I'm just bad at reading. Thank American public schools. The damage of the Nightmare Chain is increased by 20%. Okay. So you want to make sure to have your normal attacks up before you start throwing up your Nightmare Chains when you're using this talent. Good thing to know. And then we got Overload. The total amount of mental energy recovered from using Breath of Annihilation is raised to 200 points as opposed to the original 120. When using Breath of Annihilation, the mental energy cap and the total amount of mental energy you can have stored up in the blue pedal icon is raised by 100 points for 30 seconds. Ah. Nice. And then that's all the beautiful translations we got. Alright, guys. We're probably a couple, maybe a month, maybe a full month, but maybe not an entire month. I see sometime probably mid-June when they're going to drop the Scythe class. So keep an eye out. We're going to try and do a complete Scythe guide. And yeah, this was just amazing. Thank you so much, Yuja. This was great. Thank you so much. And everybody else, remember to thank this man too. Throw out some stuff in the comments down below. Oh my god, this is also our longest video, apparently. I'm sorry, everybody. Alright, y'all. I appreciate your faces. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And, yeah, you're gonna have to catch your boy in the next one, because we're out of here. Deuces.